Might start coming up with some new dances rather than just a little hand jig. I don't know. I like dancing to it now. I'm going to pick Coverlight for this because it is a default car, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to use no Acceleracer. We don't need an Acceleracer. There's been a lot of contests as to the difficulty of Desert Realm. Now this is a realm that is hard when you first look at it, but it is the easiest realm in the game once you know the path. So, we're going through a quick tutorial. I'm going to teach you the correct path. And run through it using my help a few times, and then once you have it down pat, I think it's leave it 18 seconds. Maybe. See if I fuck this up before we quote me on that. Alright, we could probably leave it 17. Alright, first up, with Desert Realm. Sorry, this is a tutorial, so I won't be editing anything out. Stay off the track. Never touch the orange track. At any point when you touch the orange track, your run is over. Now here you want to stay as close to the track as you can, because if you go too far to the left or right, you will hit quicksand. Just as long as you're within the track limits. But here you can see on the right there is a bit of a darker section. As long as you stay off that, you'll find, because that's the quicksand there. So we're over here. This section does get a little bit bumpy, so be careful if you're hitting here with a light car or nitrox. Now you just want to follow these markers. So there's track, go to that piece of track. Or there'll be a rock or something, you go to that piece of rock. So some of them even point in the direction that they want you in. This one, for example, is a big metal sheet and it's leaning to the left. So take the left side. I think you are fine taking the right side, but just for comfort reasons and just to understand that you need to be following that sort of stuff, take the left. This is a really good nitrox section. I'm not going to bother nitroxing or anything here. I have used 8 at the start, but don't bother with it here. There's no need. Now for this section, you are supposed to go between the two rocks, which is fine. You need to turn left immediately afterwards. Or if you're feeling brave, you can just kind of cut the corner. You'll see track here, and then just up on this hill. Take it easy so you don't hit quicksand. But there's track here. You should always see the track before you hit the quicksand anyway. So just following on through the quicksand, well, not through the quicksand, but close to the track. Now, next you'll see this pillar ahead. Dead ahead, there is a pillar. It has a second point on the right. That means you want to be on the right side of this pillar. You get over this hill, you'll see track. That's beautiful. You see the track, follow it. Oh, I'm unwell and I shouldn't be recording, but whatever. Next piece of track, go to that. You can cut that corner quite severely, but don't do it till you're comfortable. Now from here, the next place you can see is that piece there. Just drive straight towards it. Realistically, the safe path is to go through it, but you don't need to. You can cut through the side here. That's no worries. There's a piece of track there. Again, don't touch the track. At any point, it'll yeet you. If you hit the track at speed, it yeets you. Now, you're supposed to go through these two pillars here, and then immediately turn left to that rock, but you can just cut this side of the pillar. Not an issue. This piece of track goes in the rock. This is confusing. So ignore this. You just wanted to get to the rock. You can see this thing straight ahead. Go to that. So this is a big canyon, and you can quite clearly see it has a center. You want to go through the center here, just to drive along, and then you want to head to these two rocks, and you want to go between them. Watch out on the left and right sides. If you go too wide, you will just bounce from hitting the rock, and that can obviously quicksand you. Next, you want to go straight to jump rock. We call this jump rock because you can drive up and jump off of it. We called it that before you were able to, but because we called it jump rock, Cat was nice enough to lower it so we could actually use it as a jump. You do not go off jump rock. You will fall and bounce and possibly land in quicksand. You can just scoot alongside it, not an issue. Next, you've got these two rocks up here. You want to go for them. Now, if you're feeling brave, you can cut the inside of this right rock here, but it's safer to go this side. Again, don't go on the track. If you do cut and get into a bit of a drift there, it's very bumpy and can easily throw you. Just stick to the track, stick as close to the track as you can, and you should realistically never fall off. Again, I think you can take the right side of this rock, don't bother. Just stick here, watch out, there is a piece of track here, just over this hill. You don't want to hit that, that will throw you. Next, you want to drive through this section here. You'll see that all the rocks are in a way that you can drive through them. You can actually cut the left side here as long as you stay close to those rocks. Not an issue. Now there should be a piece of track just up ahead, as you can see. We're going to go here and we're going to stop for a second. This is the split. Okay, so this is actually your ultimate race spawn. You'll spawn on this piece of track here. You'll see this pillar here has, and you'll see a track over there. That is what we call the hard track. That is because when this track was first released, that track didn't actually work. It had sand over the track and you couldn't actually make it. The landmarks didn't work. There was errors. So no one learnt this track. None of the speedrunners know it. We don't know if it's faster. We don't care. Everyone is so content taking the right path that we don't bother with the left path because we just don't know it. I've done it a few times, but I don't know it as thoroughly as I know the right path, which is easy to remember because the pillar has that little point at the top, so you want to go to the right. So we're turning right. You want to be on the left side of the track to do it though, because there is quicksand on the right if you go too wide. Next you'll see this piece of track here. Drive straight for it. There is quicksand just to the right here again. And then from here we want to go to the right of this rock. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to take the left, but the right is safe. There's a bit of a bump there, just go around it, don't worry about that. And then go straight for this piece of track here. And you'll see a pillar up there. You want to be on the left side of that pillar, but you don't want to go straight for it. You want to get up to this hill, and you want to see another piece of track. The next piece of track is right here to the left. You want to stay near that. Again, if you go too far right, there is quicksand right there, and you want to avoid that. Here is two pillars. You want to go between them. Again, that is pointed out by the extra pillar on top of it, just pointing to the left of the bigger one. The other one is center, but I'm not sure what that means. Realistically, just obey the right pillar. It says to take the left of it. So we're going to drive along here. Remember, this is a slowish car, not a super fast car. This is no nitrox, so this run does look pretty bad. Now just keep going straight. Don't start turning early. You don't want to accidentally quicksand yourself. You see two rocks here. You want to go between them. You can take the right side of the rock if you're going for a fast run. You want to. It's dangerous, but it is the faster path. Next, you'll see this giant phallic object sticking out of the ground. You want to be on the right side of it. It is pointing to the right, so you want to go to the right. There's also a piece of track here to help you, just to make sure you understand what you're doing. These tracks start turning in, and you do want to start turning in, and you want to go between these two giant pillars, these monstrosities. Watch out for the track just here. That will throw you and cause issues. You usually land without hitting quicksand though. Just take the left side through here. Just stay as close to these tracks as you can, and you'll generally be safe. If you are using the cosmic charger, this is where I would recommend blasting it, because this is a very long straight section now. You see that piece of track there? That's where you're aiming for first. It's a very forgiving track. There is so much room to make errors, and that's why this becomes the easiest track in the game once you know it, because there is so much room. Next, we see a rock ahead. We need to go to that rock. Again, we're just going straight. There's no complex trickery here. It's a very wide section. It's perfectly fine. That rock is leaning slightly to the right, or the camera's mirrored, so whatever. But it's leaning slightly to the right, so you want to be on the right side. Just, I don't know if the left is safe. I've never been brave enough to try it, because you get this far into the track, you don't want to reset. So I've never been brave enough to try that. Just stick to the track here. Again, don't drive on the track, especially that section. It will throw you, you will fall in the sand. Now here is where the two split paths meet up, is this little canyon here. So there is these three gigantic rocks and three paths into the canyon, into like a triangle. You want to go right, okay, in this section. That pillar there, that tells you want to go right. I think there's one on this side. There is none. Ignore that. There's a pillar there that tells you want to go right. So you want to go right, you want to get to the top of this hill. This is blind, and if you have too much speed, you will catch air. Most of the time, that won't put you in sand. Most. Now, you'll see Sweeper Rock. We call this Sweeper Rock because it looks kind of like a sweeper. You'll see track. You want to stick to the track, you want to go in behind Sweeper Rock. The back end of it is very sweeper shaped. So you go through here, you'll see another piece of track ahead. You want to go to that. You want to go to this piece of track here. Cat was kind enough to put it in for me. I've been asking for that since this track released. Now, giant pillar here. Stay on the right side of it. Generally, most of these things you do want to be on the right side of, but there are a few left. So just stay on the right side of this pillar and just go straight. From here, you can legitimately just go straight. I would be careful with nitroxing because there is hills. If you hit them with too much speed, it will throw you. And also doing this in Coverlight is purely because everyone has Coverlight unlocked. Once you pass that pillar, you'll see the second pillar. It is so far away. Again, be careful with the nitrox. Cars will start veering and spinning out when they hit too much speed. Also, I recommend using not slick tires for this run. I've used slicks because like it's very doable in slicks. Off-road and spike tires both give you grip advantages on this track, so please do remember to use those. Now you can see the portal straight ahead. Again, it's just straight. This whole section is just straight. Ignore everything to your left, ignore the void to your right, and ignore the void in your heart. You can do this, people. This is 10 minutes. I took it extremely slow. I stopped for directions at one point. It's fine. We're getting through the desert. There's no issues. Just go straight ahead and we get to the portal. Now, there's one last obstacle. What have I always said? Don't drive on the track, because you hit it at speed, it will throw you. This is no exception. You want to slow right down, just because if you hit that too fast, it will throw you. Feel free to blast your nitrox here if you want. Don't blame me if you miss. Alright, that wasn't a great time or anything like that, but that just shows you that if you're just trying to beat and learn the realm, it is that simple to just learn the realm. Now try and do it faster. Try and do it in less than 10 minutes. Try and do it in less than 7 minutes. From there, I don't know what's possible in this game at the moment. I could try and speedrun it. I will try and speedrun it. Let's add some more content to this video. Alright, if you want to see me speedrun this in crazy 8s, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Like, I really want to get to 1,000 subs. I'm going to use the Cosmic Charger. Now, no shortcuts, just the Cosmic Cell Charger, that's perfectly fine. And I'm only using it once.
I'm looking for the greatest driver in the world.
Realistically, you could probably do this in RDO 6 and maybe go a little bit faster. I think RDO 5 is the fastest drone for acceleration, or for top speed or whatever. But it's a little bumpy. So we'll see how we go. We're only going to take one try at this. If I screw it up, I screw it up. Despite the fact that I do very much know this track. I went way too early then. Alright, we're going to spot to the off-roads. You know what? It's Kadeem. Let's go spikes. So yeah, I'm not sure what the fastest you can do this tracking is, but I'm going to give it a good shot to do a quick time. I don't think it'll be the fastest. It's not going to be optimized or anything. It's not going to be a proper speed run, but this is a quicker car for making a quick run. I will be talking a little less about where we're going, just because, and you'll see me doing shortcuts on this run, like just cutting some corners slightly, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's still on the track. As I said, this is a very forgiving track, so you can go wide quite a lot. Sometimes I get a little cocky with that and I go too wide, which can be a problem, but whatever. You're not my mum, don't tell me what to do. If I do this in under 5 minutes, you guys better be subbing. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I'm not sure 5 minutes is possible in the current update because everything has been nerfed. So, we'll find out. See, it is a bit bumpy there. You do have to be careful about that. And as much as this cut here is viable as fuck, it's so risky and can really screw up your run. So I'm not going to bother with the cut. I was at like 5.5 minutes here before, so I've shaved off a bit of time by having a real car. This is the only scary section. This is like pretty much the only blind section left in the track, and it's not that bad. You just gotta not hit the quicksand or the trap. It is genuinely the easiest realm in the game once you know it, other than maybe Labyrinth. which they're both kind of maze-like realms. They're both find your own way sort of realms, which is fine, but they start out the hard. Alright, and that's the run dead, people. Ah, that's rough.
Too bad Kadeem didn't have an EDR in his car.
That was my fault. I looked away, I looked at the camera, or looked at my recording, and I hit that rock. That's the thing, that is a huge risk, is hitting that rock when you're taking that cut. Look how close to the edge of the track I was. I nearly actually pulled that off and saved it. It's rough, it's unfortunate, and it does happen. And that was genuinely my own fault. I made a mistake. That was a sick run. I'm not going to try again because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. But honestly, guys, thanks for just watching. I know I didn't do it in under 5 minutes, but if you hit that sub anyway, I really appreciate it, just because once I get to 1,000, I can make community posts, and I will be giving away an Acceleracer's car, like an actual model Acceleracer's car, not chicane. Not chicane. However, Drift Tech, this is free for a random subscriber when I hit 1,000 subs. So please, guys, if you want a shot at this Drift Tech, do it. Give me to 1,000. And then I can do community posts. I can be so much more active with this channel. And I can ask you guys what you want. And I think that'll matter. Rather than having to read comments to get that sort of feedback, I can put up a poll. It'd be the best thing in the world. Please help me reach that dream of 1,000 subs. I've also got Yu-Gi-Oh videos. If you have Yu-Gi-Oh friends, bring them in. I promise they're good. Alright, thanks guys. Sorry I couldn't do your 5-minute Kadeem run.
Remember Kadeem?